Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. One unfortunately that was a little bit delayed, and I apologise for that. But if you've read the community tab on the YouTube channel, you'll just basically notice that, the amount of shows I'm having to book and the length of them, I don't like using Autobooker, so I need to book them all manually and micromanage everything, is maybe taking a bit longer than the 3 days I try and give myself to do, sometimes a month. So I feel it's for the best to go at least a week, because then that at least gives me a good bit of time at the weekend to always power through. And at the end of the day, you don't want to be forcing yourself to play TW, you want it to be a kind of natural thing. So I feel going weekly, going forward, will be for the best. But I'm still enjoying the game, it's the fall, there's a lot of games out. My time's divided between a lot of them and other stuff in life, of course. As you've saw, there's a poll in that tab as well. At the moment, it's the RTG that's winning. I had a feeling it would. I give folk options. I'm open to expanding to other stuff, but yeah, this is like the Road to Glory will be likely to be happening. So that'll give me a good bit of time to prepare that, because I don't want to just start it and then boom, 1 year in and the company goes bust. We need to try and make this a success. So hopefully, as I say, I'll start that next couple of weeks and we'll get that up and running on the channel. Hopefully, as I say, in December, possibility that starts 2021. So going forward at the moment, Wednesdays for WWE action and Saturdays for AEW. For the same kind of setup with that'll be your double AEWs, 2 episodes of Dynamite or a pay-per-view per show. But we're here for WWE, we're here for Extreme Rules, and one of the reasons it took a bit of time to get to Extreme Rules as well was because I had to obviously set up Extreme Rules, make everything link up storyline wise, but I had to plant a lot of seeds for SummerSlam, and I'm really hoping we've done that today, because this is Raw's last big event. Before then, although there may be a show in the UK in August before SummerSlam, which is tempting me. But I say I'm really happy with the booking we had. You can see, getting into this previous years, we have 281 rated shows, so I'm aiming to beat that, and we should smash that 45,000 attendance as well. I've put in a star band, an A-list celebrity, 2 million on the special set to try and push us through to a high 90 rating. The main event is a stipulation match, so it may falter a little, but it's Extreme Rules, you need to have stipulations. So as always, thanks for taking the time out to watch a video. Any comments are deeply appreciated. You want to buy the game, etc, etc, check out other people's content. Best place is the description below. That will take you to all the places you need to go for TW content. But until then, we've got a pay-per-view to run. Let's go. This is the Raw branded WWE Extreme Rules 2022. So we start our show hyping the main event, and our hype promo is the champion, the WWE Champion Big E, and his opponent Karrion Kross, basically giving their speeches before tonight's main event. Obviously Big E defeated Karrion Kross before, but Karrion Kross says, "Good luck in making me submit. No chance, you don't even have a submission manoeuvre within your repertoire. You have no chance of winning this one, and I'm going to choke you out so you don't even need to tap out. Your ref will just call for it there." So that's your main event, Big E, Karrion Kross, WWE Championship submission match. Disappointed to look at an 80. Karrion Kross is usually very solid on the mic, as is Big E, with obviously a lot of overness and entertainment skill. So the 80's not the ideal start to the show. But 56,000 show here, so I say 56,000 rated, but yeah, 56,000 in attendance, really good in the Bronx. As we try to obviously get those achievements, which I think starts at 70,000. So that might be something to look at for Survivor Series with a higher level of importance. We kick off our opening match of the night with a no disqualification match, that feud that's been brewing for ages between John Cena and Braun, because obviously John Cena made Stephanie cheat on Triple H. Vince McMahon got pissed. Vince McMahon hired Braun as the lackey, and this is the final blow-off match. I felt like we'll hold it to here. Stipulation, and about they had great heat and good wrestling. John Cena defeats Braun in a no DQ match in 14:36 with the AA. Cena's off his game. Braun's really struggling under this type of product with just a 66 in-ring performance. Stephanie doing some good work at ringside. I actually wanted Braun to go over, but Cena wins because he was complaining if he didn't, even if protected strongly. And I felt like we'll put Cena over then. It still gives us another major superstar, and I can work something out between Braun and Vince. But a 77 rating for that matchup. And after the matchup, John Cena and Stephanie McMahon. It should be the other way around. John Cena gives Stephanie the bunch of flowers, and then they have a romantic segment, a wee kiss as well. So a 78. Cena was fantastic, and Stephanie is getting stale. Moving along backstage, we have Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. In this little segment here, Shayna's going after Rhea Ripley, and she says, "Tonight, I'll bring the Raw Women's Championship back. Don't you worry about anything, Ronda." So Ronda's like, okay, I guess. You know, it's a tricky match type. They're going to be facing off in the first ever women's, I think it's a Bullrope match I booked. I wanted something a bit different. So a 60 rated segment here for this Women's Championship match on Raw. And it was the fourth time they'd faced each other, but it worked out for the story. And it was about that, good heat and decent wrestling, as Rhea Ripley defeats Shayna Baszler in a Bullrope match in 1753 when Rhea was first to touch all four corners. She makes the third defence of the Raw Women's Championship. An 84 performance is fantastic. I honestly think at one point I could get Rhea and Charlotte to maybe a 90 rated matchup if she keeps progressing the way she is, and I give Charlotte a very strong push, so delighted with that. I say the 61 is good considering that's the fourth match that was put her, so you take a big beating from that, but it continues to add to the frustrations of Shayna Baszler, and it might possibly lead to some friction between her and Ronda Rousey. Next up, we had the Millionaires Club, my stable that has the manager, Montes Porter, MVP, Bianca Belair, Montes Ford, and Ricky Starks. And he's just saying it's going to be a good night for the Millionaires Club. They're all getting some opportunities this evening, and they're going to showcase to the world just how good they are. So a 69 rated segment for that. The first action was Bianca Belair. She had a little bit of a coming together previously with Sasha Banks, Miss Money in the Bank of course, and it had a decent reaction from the crowd and subpar wrestling, and Bianca Belair defeats Sasha Banks by pinfall using a foreign object and a distraction from MVP. 58 rated matchup, but it's one of those ones we're trying to push over Bianca on a major event. In this case, you're wondering, two good performances, why the 58? Sasha needed to be kept strong. She wasn't too willing to do the job, but we got her to do so that way, and Bianca Belair picks up the victory. Next up, we had a decent matchup that saw Montes Ford defeat Austin Theory in 14-19 by using underhanded tactics, and again MVP with a distraction, and that was a 63 rated segment. I think I put them set to manager because that would come up there, but anyway, thanks to managerial interference. Again, Austin Theory to be kept strong. Wasn't overly pleased, but with the storytelling. He's had issues with MVP, he's had issues with Ricky Starks, and now Montes Ford. This is going to be one of my longer running storylines, something between Austin Theory and the Millionaires Club. And another one where he's just like, how do these people keep getting the better of me? But 63. Regardless, we're going to have a little bit backstage, and MVP says, "Randy, we see you've got a match tonight against Drew McIntyre and the Velveteen Dream. Well, let me present to you Ricky Starks. This kid is going to be phenomenal. I reckon you give him an opportunity tonight, and you just see how good the Millionaires Club is, and at the same time, you pick yourself up a W." Orton just looks at him and goes, "You know what, kid? Screw it. Let's go." So a 72, and that's going to be happening later on tonight. Drew and the Velveteen Dream against Randy Orton and Ricky Starks. Another promo from Otis, who's going to be challenging from the US Championship from Angel Garza. Otis just basically says it's been a bit of a disgrace the last couple of weeks on Raw, where Angel Garza has nothing but mocked his weight and has said, you know, he couldn't climb a ladder. So he's going to shock the world, he's going to prove everyone wrong, he's going to climb the ladder today, and he's going to become the new United States Champion. So it is an 80 rated matchup. I think the crowd might be against ladder matches, but we'll see. Yep, it was, but I still had to have this matchup in. Again, playing up to the theme of Extreme Rules, but an exceptional matchup. Otis defeats Angel Garza in a ladder match in 21-23 when Otis retrieved the item. Otis is your new WWE United States Champion. It's Mojo Rawley vibes all over again, a mega push for someone I don't particularly like. So disappointed it was a 54, because obviously it was a ladder match and this crowd don't like ladder matches, but even if they don't, it's still a stipulation event, so I'll go with a gimmick. The psychology is obviously going to lose a lot of points on it as well, but I feel like these two together in a normal matchup with a bit more psychology, you could be looking in the 80s, which is quite incredible. But Otis gets the win, and here's your new United States Champion. We had the Raw Tag Team Championships on the line in a tables match, and it was a poor matchup that saw the former Magnificent Seven teammates of Timothy Thatcher and Walter defeat the Viking Raiders in 14-10. Ivar went through one first, then Timothy Thatcher, and then Eric, meaning that Timothy Thatcher and Walter are the new Raw Tag Team Champions. A 67 rated matchup, Walter the star of the show. It's not the strongest tag division in the world, but we need to start building it up again. As I say, SmackDown has every good team under the world, but Raw has the better women's division. So yeah, it's all about building teams up here, and I feel like Thatcher and Walter could do some really good things as tag team champions, so they pick up the championships on Extreme Rules. So a good win for them. We have the promo with Drew, and he just says it's been a while since he's been WWE Champion. A win tonight over Randy Orton and his mystery partner, who obviously we know now is Ricky Starks. We'll point him in that direction. He just hopes that Velveteen Dream, has got his head screwed on. They've had a few issues in the last couple of weeks. They've had some kind of heated discussions after victories. They've been teaming up for a while, and he just hopes his head's screwed on tonight. And that matchup was superb. It was Randy Orton and Ricky Starks who defeated Drew McIntyre in the Velveteen Dream in 2016 when Randy Orton pinned Drew with an RKO. During the matchup, we had the Velveteen Dream turn on Drew McIntyre, which obviously set him up for the RKO. Drew was the best in terms of in-ring performance with a 91, 82 for Randy and 75 for Dream. 71 for Ricky Starks is pretty good considering he's still a long way to go in terms of overness. The 76 again way to protect Drew McIntyre, but the promise was by Drew on Velveteen, so clearly I was always going to go that way. And the Velveteen Dream is now a heel, so you can book it, you can confirm it. SummerSlam Drew McIntyre versus the Velveteen Dream is official. That's happening. And after the matchup, Velveteen Dream just beats him down, gets some more heat on him, and that is an 80 rated segment. Leads us to our main event, which was not very good at all. Well, I think it was very good, but yeah, the psychology killed it. About had unbelievable heat and superb wrestling. Big E defeats Karrion Kross in the submission match in 21-49 by submission, which gives Big E the third defence of the WWE Championship. So a 78, 89 performance plays an 85. But you can see there, Kross off his game, and the lack of psychology is going to take a lot off of that. It's reasons like this you can see why I've got Daniel Bryan going high on the SmackDown brand. Just people with psychology that can teach it to some of our superstars when they're in the ring together. I knew this was going to be a wee bit of an issue, and I was hoping that our best promo and our boosts could certainly help us still maintain a good rating, but it gets Kross a good main event shot again, and Big E picks up the win to retain the championship. New Day celebrate after. That's a 77 rated segment for Kofi, Big E and Xavier. Just try to get the rub off of Big E. And we finish the show with a heated confrontation between someone who's going to challenge Big E at SummerSlam for the WWE Championship, and that is the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. So they don't come to blows, but they stare each other down. Bray makes his intentions very, very clear. I'm just disappointed. Considering both guys' overness, this only drew a 78, so I think we might lose pop here. I think we might be looking at about 80. Maybe just pushing over that thanks to the boosts. But we finished the show, oh well, quite considerably with the boosts, an 85. So yeah, we did not score any segments over the show rating that we got. So if you ever wonder and you need to get a good rating, just add the boosts of the celebrities, the bands, etc., and it'll make sure you're certainly fine. Probably not one of the best pay-per-views in a while, but we did have the gimmick a lot of things. But I don't mind that, as I say. It saves you for doing continually one-on-ones and 2v2s. You can add in those stipulations and add that little bit of realism towards it. The product's not designed towards it, but yeah, it's still cool. So we'll quickly dive into the main screen. We'll see what pops up in terms of certain people's overness. A quick report as well, as this is pretty much going live on YouTube the next day after recorded. The 50-year holiday save to get the 50-year career achievement. I'm at 48 years, I've got 2 years to go. I'll hopefully get there in the next couple of weekends, but it's starting to go really, really slow. So if you're looking for that achievement, don't pick a real world mod database, or at least if you're going to get one, go with the slimmest one you could get. So Leo Rush and Cyclop have beef. Extreme Rules was still getting fantastic reviews. Viewing figures was 15 million overall, and the buy rate was 2.3, pretty much 2.4 million with a rating of 4.79. So not too bad financially. 87 million in the bank, so that's good. Obviously, haven't done it yet, but there's still a lot of money that's going to get pumped into media. So I think I'll leave July, and in August we'll just go and put a lot of money into it. We'll see how much we can gain in terms of profit without putting anything into media. As you can see, I've pretty much pumped money into it every month since September. Next show is obviously going to be not Backlash, No Mercy for SmackDown. But what I want to check is just to see a few guys overness from after that matchup. So where are we? The brand is going to be Raw. And that's because I was checking who was going to go and participate in the Classic. So Adam Cole didn't make the event. The Fiend is still the 90 over as well, so both of those guys are way over. Garza still in the high 80s despite defeat. Austin Theory's dropped a little bit. Bianca closing in the 60s, so that's good there. Big E, man, they get the guys over like The Rock in Austin, 99s, 100s. The guy is incredibly over, even in India, which is incredible. Braun, mid-70s. See who else we've got. Drew after his defeat, still in the 90s. You see Xavier was still pretty decent. As I say, we're pretty much looking to let him go. Cena, 91s, although half the wrestling world hates him. Who else have we got there? Karrion Kross, despite defeat, is in the low 90s as well. Montes Ford up to 71, so he's not really getting over in Canada, but in the US especially. There you go, 48 over, even as high as April. And since he's joined the Millionaires Club, since Angelo Dawkins basically sent to rehab, he's certainly come on great lengths. Otis, oh my god, he's pretty much in World Championship position. Nowhere else in the world, but in the US he's pretty much ready to go for the main belt if we wanted to. Your US champion since January, a dive of 67 all the way up there, as I say, 90. So 21 over, roughly, maybe more, for Otis in the US. So he's gained quite massively. Orton, well, that win there cemented him back over as one of the most over guys in the world. And remember, this guy was as low as 63 over a year ago. So ever since I thought, let's give him the push he should get in real life, that he was getting in real life, because he's been fantastic this year. And he's pretty much turned into the biggest star. And also that's when 1.17 came out and everything kind of changed, although we did get, as I say, that move to Titanic, and since then it's been a lot easier. Rhea's still really strong. Ricky Starks gets a good push there up to 76 over. His gains in the last couple of weeks have been, well, there you go, 25, in fact 30 as early as January, and yeah, 76 over, so you can see where he's went to the main roster and just exploding overness. Ronda's still in a good position. Sasha's still decent. She'll probably need another big win going forward. And the Velveteen Dream 80s. As I say, we have a few promises in the future to help him. But overall, I am fairly happy with it. There's still a few turns we need to make over time, but save's going well. I'm happy with it. And as I say, I apologise it's only going to be one video a week, but it's so much micromanagement, but it's to make sure it is like I used to say, flawless. So thanks for watching. As I say, tune in on Saturday for some AEW content. As I say, I'll get back to recording that soon, because I think we're at Double or Nothing. I think I got to Double or Nothing there. I took a massive break, so I'll be binge booking basically right through until All Out. But next Wednesday, we'll be here with some No Mercy, and hopefully you will join us for that. So thanks again, take it easy, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.